You must have noticed that there are different types of shapes and curves occurring in nature. Let's see if you can name some of these. Can you tell me which shape or curve this is? Yes, this is a circle. Now, can you tell me what the shape of Earth's orbit is? Is this a circle? No, right? It's similar to a circle but elongated towards the side. Such a shape is called an ellipse. Let's see if you can tell me the next one. Zeki and Nora are playing a game of catch. Look at all these paths formed. Do you know what these types of curves are called? So this U-shaped curve is called a parabola. But not all U-shaped curves are parabolas. There is a property by which a parabola is defined, and we will see that in the upcoming videos. There is another curve that we will see. It looks like this. It has two curves placed on either side of the axis. This curve is called a hyperbola. Interestingly, all these curves we just saw have just one thing in common. Can you guess what that is? They all come under a common category called conics. So what exactly does conics mean? Conic stands for conic sections. So what do we mean by conic sections? As the name suggests, conic sections mean taking cross sections of a cone. Let's see how to take a cross section of a cone. But before that, can you tell me what shape this is? Since it has two cones and this line makes a right angle with these circular surfaces, this shape is called a double right circular cone. Yes, two cones and this line makes a right angle with both these circular bases. Now let's see something interesting. When a plane intersects this shape, we obtain different curves. In how many ways can a plane intersect this shape here? One way could be horizontally. If a plane intersects the cone horizontally, that is at 90 degrees to this axis, we get a circle. Yes, this shape here is that of a circle. How else can this plane intersect this shape? What if we tilt this plane like this? We get an ellipse. If horizontal, then a circle, and if tilted a bit, then an ellipse. Let's continue tilting it a bit more. If we tilt it even more like this, we get a parabola. And finally, if we tilt the plane like this, we get a hyperbola. So what can we conclude here? Depending on the angle at which the plane intersects the cone, we get different curves. But why are we studying these shapes or curves? Because we see these shapes in our daily life constantly in some form or the other. Let's have a look at each curve individually. Most of us know about circular shapes. From wheels to currency coins, we can see many objects having the shape of a circle. We saw that the Earth revolves in an orbit, which is an ellipse. And many satellites that are launched in space also move in an elliptical path. So to study the laws of the universe, understanding the ellipse is important. Now can you tell me the shape of a satellite dish? This curve is a parabola. So why do you think the satellite dish is parabolic in shape? Parabola has a property to focus all the incident rays on a single point. So if we keep a receiver at this point, all the reflected rays are focused here at this point.
A conic is the intersection of a plane and a right circular cone. So yung conic, ito yung itsura niya. Sabi kanina, it is the intersection. So nagmi-meet yung tinatawag natin na double right circular cone. Ito siya. At ang isang plane. So, kapag nag-meet yung plane at yung double right circular cone, ang tawag dito ay conic or conic sections. So, these are the types of conic sections. First one, we have the parabola. Ano ba yung itsura ng parabola kapag granap natin siya? So, ito yung mga sample of graphs. Pwede siyang opens upward, downward, to the left or to the right. Ano naman yung itsura niya when it comes to the double right circular cone? So, ito yung itsura niya. It intersects only one cone in a curve. So, dalawa yung cone natin. Isa lang yung tinatamaan niya. And then, yung plane natin, itong parang box na to, ay nakapaslant siya or in a curve. So, pag nakita niyo yung ganyang itsura, ang tawag dito ay parabola. Another type of the conic sections, we have the circle. Yung circle naman, pag graph natin siya, syempre, circle. And then, ano yung itsura niya when it comes to the double right circular cone? So, ito yung dalawa nating cone. Ini-intersect lang niya yung isa horizontally. So, pag sinabi natin horizontally, yung plane natin ay pahiga. So, pag nakita ninyo na yung plane natin ay pahiga at tinamaan yung isang cone, ang tawag doon ay circle. Next, we have the ellipse. When we say ellipse, ito yung sample ng kanyang graph. Kung mapapasin nyo ang ellipse, para siyang oblong. And then, yung itsura ng kanyang cone ay parang circle lang din, kaso tilted siya or nakapaslant ng kaunti. Next, we have the hyperbola. Ito yung itsura ng hyperbola when it comes to graph. Kabilaan siya. Pwedeng upward and downward. Pwedeng sabay na left and right. Ano yung itsura niya sa isang cone? So, yung pagkakaiba ng hyperbola sa apat, yung plane, tinatamaan niya yung dalawang cone. So, yung dalawang cone, tinamaan ng isang plane. So, again, kapag parabola, nakapaslant siya, opens upward, downward, to the left, or to the right. Kapag circle, bilog, and then nakapahiga yung ating plane. Kapag naman ellipse, oblong yung shape niya, and then yung ating plane ay nakaslant ng kaunti. Kapag hyperbola naman, sabay na open, upward or downward, to the left or to the right. And then yung ating plane ay patayo, tinatamaan naman niya yung dalawang cone. So these are the examples of conic and not conic shapes or graphs. Yung una natin ay isang conic kasi siya ay parang oblong or ang tinatawag nating ellipse. Ito naman ay star, hindi naman siya kasali dun sa na-discuss kanina, so not conic. Next, this one, it opens downward. Ito ay example ng parabola. Ito naman, wala naman tayo na-discuss kanina na ganito, na graph. So, this one is not conic. Next, this one is a conic kasi isa siyang example ng hyperbola. And this one is not conic kasi wala naman akong diniscuss na ganitong shape. We're done with discussing the three types of the conic sections, which is the parabola, circle, ellipse, and hyperbola. Pero meron pang isa which is called the degenerate conics. Ano naman yung pagkakaiba nito dun sa apat? So, kung yung apat, merong paslant, pahiga, and then patayo, what if naman yung plane natin, tinamaan niya yung vertex o yung pinakagitna ng cone natin? So, kung mapapasin nyo dito, yung plane, tinamaan niya yung gitna. Yung plane natin, tinamaan niya yung gitna. Ang tawag dito ay degenerate conics. It intersect the vertex of the cone. Let's now proceed with the equations of each type of conics. Let's start with the circle. So the general equation of a circle is quantity x minus h squared plus quantity y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Next, we have the parabola, that is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. We also have for parabola y equals a quantity x minus h squared plus k. And then ellipse, quantity x minus h squared over a squared plus quantity y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. Lastly is the hyperbola, quantity x minus h squared over a squared minus quantity y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, ito yung kanya-kanya nilang equations. We have examples here. We need to determine kung alin sila dun sa apat. So, the first example is x minus 2 squared over 9 plus y minus 3 squared over 16 is equal to 1. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung gitna nito is plus. Alin ba dito yung merong plus sign sa gitna? Okay, so meron tayong dalawa, circle tsaka ellipse. Kaso, kung mapapansin nyo, ito ay fraction. Ito din ay fraction. So, meaning, letter A is under ellipse. Next, letter B, x raised to 5 plus 4x squared minus 6 equals 3. X raised to 5. Sa lahat ng apat na to, meron bang raised to 5? Wala. So, meaning, letter B is not conic. Hindi siya kasali dun sa apat kasi nga wala namang raised to 5. Next, we have quantity x minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 4. Yung gitna niya is plus. Alin ba dito yung merong plus sa gitna? Circle and ellipse. At ito ay hindi naman fraction. So, kasali siya sa circle. Letter C is circle. Letter D, x squared over 64 minus y squared over 36 equals 1. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating given is negative. Alin ba dito yung merong negative sign? That is hyperbola. And pareho silang merong fraction. So, letter D is under hyperbola. Last, we have letter E, y equals 5, quantity x minus 6 squared minus 1. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung kamukha nito ay yung parabola. Y equals, yung A pinalitan lang siya ng 5. And then, x minus h, x minus 6 squared, yung plus k pinalitan lang ng negative 1. So, letter E is under parabola. So, in determining the conic or type of conic sections of the given equation, titignan mo lang yung kanyang ginamit na symbol. So, kung positive, pili ka if it is a circle or ellipse. Pag negative, automatic na hyperbola. And then, pag wala dun sa apat, isulat nyo lang, not conic. Paano naman natin malalaman ang type of conic ng isang given kung ang ibinigay ay nasa general form? Ano ba yung general form? Ito siya, ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Ito yung mga examples ng mga equation na nasa general form. So, magkaiba siya dun sa mga examples kanina na merong mga parentheses. Ano yung gagawin natin para malaman kung anong klaseng conic section siya? Kailangan natin i-consider yung rule na ito. A multiply to C is greater than 0 at yung A ay hindi pareho sa C, ang tawag doon ay ellipse. Kapag naman A multiply to C is greater than 0, pero pareho yung A at yung C, ang tawag doon ay circle. At kapag ang A multiply to C ay equal sa 0, ang tawag doon ay parabola. Lastly, if A multiply to C is less than 0, that is called hyperbola. So, para mas maintindihan ninyo, magbibigay tayo ng example gamit yung mga given na ito. Example number 1, x squared plus 9y squared plus 90y plus 189 is equal to 0. First thing to do, we need to determine ano ba yung A at ano ba yung ating C. Pag sinabing A, yan yung kasama ni x squared. So in this case, ito yung x squared natin. Ano ba yung kasama niya? Pag walang nakasulat na number sa tabi ni x squared, automatically that is 1. Next, ano naman yung C? Ang C, yun yung kasamang number ni y squared. Ano ba yung kasamang number ni y squared? That is 9. So that will be the value of A and C. Next na gagawin natin, i-multiply lang natin sila. 1 multiply to 9. The answer is 9. Ngayon, yung 9, i-determine natin greater than, equal, or less than 0. So, yung 9 ay greater than 0. Tingnan natin yung example kanina. Alin ba dyan yung greater than? So, ito yung greater than 0. Dalawa lang yan. Ito or ito. So, it's either ellipse or circle. Kaso, meron pa tayong condition. Sabi niya dito, dapat si A less than or not equal to C. Kapag hindi sila parehong number, ellipse. Pag pareho sila, circle. Balikan natin dito. Pareho bang number ito? No. Magkaiba sila, kaya siya ay under sa ellipse. For number 1, the answer is ellipse. Third example, we have 4x squared negative 25y squared plus 50y negative 125 is equal to 0. Same process, we need to determine A and C. Yung A, yun yung kasama ni x squared, which is 4. At ang C naman ay ang kasama ni y squared, which is negative 25. Same process, imumultiply natin. 4 multiply to negative 25, the answer is negative 100. Ngayon yung negative 100, kailangan nating malaman if it is greater than, equal, or less than 0. So, yung mga negative sign or numbers ay less than 0 or mas mababa sa 0. So, given this one, alin ba dito yung less than 0? Ang less than 0 dito ay ang hyperbola. So, the answer in number 3 is hyperbola. Number 4, we have negative 2x squared, negative 20x plus y, negative 46 is equal to 0. Again, we need to determine the value of A and C. Ano yung A natin? A, yun yung kasama ni x squared, which is negative 2. Yung C naman natin, yun yung kasama ni y squared. Pero kung mapapansin ninyo, wala tayong y squared. So, meaning, yung C natin ay 0. Kasi wala namang y squared. Ang gagawin natin, imumultiply natin. Negative 2 multiply to 0, the answer is 0. Given this condition, alin ba dyan yung equal to 0? Ang equal to 0 ay ang parabola. So, meaning, number 4, the answer is parabola.